Have you ever had that nagging feeling that you are doing everything right, but your bank account is still slowly bleeding out? You work hard, you save what you can, and you avoid the flashy spending that ruins so many people. Yet the numbers just do not add up. It feels like there is an invisible hand reaching into your pocket every single day, taking a small piece of your life's work while you are looking the other way. This sensation of being financially stuck despite your best efforts is not a hallucination. In the year 2026, the economic landscape has become a sophisticated maze designed to extract wealth from the unsuspecting. The quality of your life and the security of your retirement no longer depend solely on how much you earn. Instead, they depend on your ability to find and plug the invisible leaks that are draining your hard-earned dollars before they can grow. Most people are losing thousands of dollars every single year through specific sneaky channels that have become so common they are now invisible. By the time you reach the end of this discussion, you will have the clarity to see these leaks for exactly what they are, and the tools to stop the bleeding once and for all. Let us begin by looking at the world we are living in right now in 2026. For decades, we were told that if we worked hard and saved our money in a traditional bank account, we would be safe. But that social contract was quietly torn up a long time ago, specifically back in 1971, when the United States dollar stopped being backed by gold. Since then, money has become a fiat currency, which essentially means it is a piece of paper backed only by a government promise. Because of this, the purchasing power of your savings is being eroded every single day by the hidden tax known as inflation. If you have $100 sitting in a drawer today, that same $100 will buy significantly less next year. This is the context you must understand before we can address the 7 specific leaks that are sabotaging your future. The first invisible leak is what I call the vampire subscription trap. In our modern digital economy, companies have moved away from selling you a product once and toward charging you a small fee forever. Most people think this is just about Netflix or a gym membership they forgot to cancel. But the real extraction happens through much smaller, more insidious charges that fly under the radar of your monthly bank statement. It is the $5 premium fee for a service you used once, the $9 insurance add-on for a device you no longer own, or the recurring bank maintenance fees that add zero value to your life. Individually, these charges seem insignificant, but when they compound over months and years, they represent a massive transfer of wealth from your pocket to corporate balance sheets. Research shows that the average person evaluates their monthly subscriptions at about 1/3 of their actual costs. If you think you are spending $50 a month on recurring fees, the reality is likely closer to $150. To plug this leak, you must perform a forensic audit of your bank statements from the last 90 days. If you have not used a service or derived meaningful value from a charge in the last 30 days, you must cancel it immediately. The second leak is the cash trap, which is particularly dangerous for those over the age of 50. We were raised to believe that cash is king, and that having a large pile of money in a bank account is the ultimate security. However, in 2026, holding excessive amounts of cash is actually a form of guaranteed loss. With inflation currently sitting at high levels, the real return on your bank savings is likely negative. This means that even if your bank statement shows your balance is staying the same, the actual amount of goods and services that money can buy is shrinking. You are effectively losing 7 to 10% of your purchasing power every year just by standing still. While you absolutely need an emergency fund, keeping every dollar you own in a low-interest savings account is an invisible tax that will leave you struggling in your later years. The third leak is the convenience trap, which is the high price we pay for saving a few minutes of our time. In 2026, we are surrounded by apps and services that promise to make our lives easier by doing everything for us. We pay a premium for food delivery, a premium for ride sharing, and a premium for having products shipped to our door instantly. What most people fail to realize is that these convenience fees often represent a 30 to 40% markup on the base price of the goods. Over the course of a year, a habit of ordering food through an app instead of picking it up can cost a household over $3,000 in fees and tips alone. This is not to say you should never use these services, but you must recognize them for what they are: luxury expenses, not necessities. When you allow convenience to become your default setting, you are choosing to trade your long-term financial freedom for a few moments of ease. The fourth leak is the maintenance monster, which often hides behind the things we consider our greatest assets. As we get older, we often accumulate larger homes and more expensive vehicles, believing they are markers of our success. However, the cost of maintaining these items can quickly become a lead weight on your finances. A large house requires constant heating, cooling, insurance, and repairs that grow more expensive every year. A luxury vehicle that is 5 years old can cost thousands of dollars in specialized maintenance and high insurance premiums. Many people find themselves house poor or car poor, meaning they have a high net worth on paper but zero liquidity because all their cash is flowing into the upkeep of their possessions. In 2026, the smart move is to evaluate whether your assets are serving you or whether you are serving your assets. The fifth leak is the high-interest debt monster, specifically credit card debt. This is the most aggressive wealth extraction machine ever created by the financial industry. Currently, average credit card interest rates have surpassed 25%. If you are carrying a balance on your cards, you are essentially paying a criminal amount of interest for the privilege of spending money you did not have in the past. At 25% interest, your debt will double every 3 years if you only make the minimum payments. There is no investment in the world, not even the best stocks or real estate, that can consistently beat a 25% guaranteed loss. If you have high-interest debt, every extra dollar you have must go toward killing that monster before you think about anything else. The sixth leak is the education and status illusion. For a long time, we were told that a university degree was the only path to a stable life. And many of us are still paying for that belief. Whether it is paying off our own lingering student loans or funding degrees for our children that have zero market value, the cost is staggering. In 2026, the traditional university system has become bloated and overpriced, often providing a negative return on investment for many fields of study. Spending $50,000 a year for a degree that leads to a $40,000 a year job is not an education. It is a bad financial decision. We must stop chipping away at our retirement funds to pay for status symbols and instead focus on high-income skills that the modern economy actually rewards. The seventh and final leak is the hope strategy, which is the most dangerous of all because it involves doing nothing. This is the habit of procrastinating on important financial decisions while hoping that things will just work out in the end. It is the person who waits until they are 60 to start thinking about their estate plan or their tax liability. It is the person who sees a problem in their portfolio but waits for the market to recover before taking action. In 2026, hope is not a strategy. It is a recipe for disaster. The longer you wait to address your financial leaks, the more power compound interest has to work against you. Time is the most valuable asset you have, and every day you spend in the hope strategy is a day you are losing ground to the invisible forces of extraction. Now that we have identified these 7 leaks, it is time to discuss the path to fortification. You do not need a complex degree or a team of advisors to take back control of your financial life. The first step is a radical commitment to awareness. You must stop guessing where your money is going and start tracking it with the intensity of a business owner. Every dollar that leaves your account must have a purpose and a destination that serves your future self. The second step is the elimination of waste. This means cutting the vampire subscriptions, avoiding the convenience traps, and downsizing assets that are no longer providing a return. The third step is the redirection of capital. The money you save from plugging these leaks should not stay in a low-interest bank account where it will be eaten by inflation. Instead, It must be moved into assets that have a history of outperforming the devaluation of the currency. This might mean broad market index funds that track the top 500 companies in the United States, which have historically returned around 10% annually before inflation. It might mean investing in physical assets like gold or real estate that hold their value when paper currency loses its shine. For those of you over the age of 50, this is not about taking wild risks to get rich quick. It is about the disciplined protection of what you have built so that it can support you for the next 30 or 40 years. We live in a world that is designed to keep you on a financial treadmill, working harder and harder just to stay in the same place. But when you understand the mechanics of wealth extraction, you can choose to step off that treadmill. You can choose to build a fortress around your finances that is immune to the sneaky fees, the high interest rates, and the eroding power of inflation. Your wealth is more than just a number on a screen. It is your freedom, your security, and your ability to care for the people you love. Do not allow these invisible leaks to steal your peace of mind or your future. The decisions you make today will determine the trajectory of your life for decades to come. Start by auditing your accounts, killing your high-interest debt, and moving your capital out of the cash trap. The system may be designed to extract your wealth, but you are the one who holds the keys to your own financial prison. Take action now, because in 2026, the only person who is going to look out for your financial future is you. If you found value in this discussion, please consider supporting the channel by hitting the like button and sharing this with someone who needs to hear it. Financial freedom is a journey we take together, and your engagement helps us bring this message to more people who are struggling to find their way. Thank you for your time, and I will see you in the next analysis.